What up, YouTube? Jay Riz here. For all the new people who don't know me, my name is Jay Rizzo. Starting a new episode. I got my brother Mark here. He's new to the family. Pretty good guy. So I asked him to be on the show. We're gonna get this rolling consecutively every week. So every Friday, look out for the new episode. There will be a new episode with new speakers. So keep an eye out for that. And if you like what you see, hit that like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Much love to all you guys out there, man. I can't express enough how much you guys been showing me the support. I love it, man. Love all you guys, man. Yeah, without further ado, my brother Mark here.
Hey everyone, I'm Addict. My name is Mark. I guess I'll give a little bit of a background on what got me starting to using and destruction of my life. So I grew up in a household where it was my mother, my grandparents, and one of my siblings. And on the outside, it was all picture perfect, where everything looked all good and fancy. But behind the closed doors, it was all chaos. And I was the black sheep of the family. Like whenever I came around or stuff, or tried to get attention or try to get a sense of love from them, I was always shunned away or told to go to my room, or I would get the snot beat out of me. And then when I hit the age of 8 years old, 8 to 9, my mother started coming in at night and started molesting me and show me what sex was at a very young age. So I was a little confused on, like, during the daytimes, what why they hated me so much, but then at nighttime, all of a sudden, like, there was like this sense of like love. So I was always confused what love was, and I guess I thought I connected it with sex. I also was an outcast at school. I was always picked on, bullied, and got called names. Always got beat up on the playgrounds constantly. I ended up being a lone wolf and made it through that. And at the age of 12, I got introduced with methamphetamine with a group of outcast crowd, and I finally felt like a sense of relief or freedom. I felt like I was powerful finally and not weak, like I was brought and told I was. And I just started going off the rail on there, you know. And so I ended up getting in a lot of trouble, skipping school. Started bullying back and getting in fights, and got kicked out of many schools for the situations, and got caught also for tripping on triple C's at schools, and also got theft charges. And I ended up going to JJC up in Nebraska and got locked up for vandalism and theft at the age of 13. And by the time I was 14, my mother ended up getting with marrying my stepfather, and we moved to Peru, Nebraska. And that's where I got kind of a little more out of hand. I never went to school. I dropped out. I got kicked out of my house at the age of 14 and became living on the streets. And a gentleman, I was naive, and a gentleman said that I could stay at his place. He would give me a place to stay so I could have some shelter and food. And he also drank and used. And so I'm like, okay, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know? And so I took the offer. Well, ended up being a trap, and the guy started drugging me up with opiates and downers, and had me zombified, and started sexually taking advantage of me, and told me if I tried leaving his place that he would kill me. He had cameras all over his house, and so it made me terrified. I thought he was literally going to. And so that's not where it ended with that. He ended up having friends and we end up traveling to like St. Louis, Kansas, and other places, and pretty much dehumanized me, made me feel like a scum on the earth, and just disgusting, having me go to places, putting on sickening shows in front of other guys with other young underage kids. And when I made it to St. Louis, I end up saying like I'd rather die instead of taking this or going through this situation anymore. So I ended up taking off and was running down the streets and walking, not knowing where I was. And a couple ended up seeing me and asked me if I needed help. And I was like, well, if they murder me, I'd rather take the chance. So I just took the chance, and they gave me shelter for a few days. But then I got nervous and scared because of having trust issues. And I ended up jetting from their place and started hitchhiking and made it back to a different town up in Nebraska. And I fast forward, I end up, going through women. I had my first kid at the age of 17 with her, and she didn't drink or use, and wanted me to stop using, and I didn't want to, because I thought I was having fun, and I didn't want all the emotions to come up. I wasn't ready. So when she ended up pretty much ghosting me and not wanting to talk to me, and she told me that she'd keep in touch when our son was born, and I never heard anything, and it was a couple weeks past her due date, and she told me that she had her kid 3 weeks ago, or 3 weeks prior, and that was a pretty painful. Started getting in a lot of more trouble of breaking in and entering. I started breaking into stores and convenience stores when they were closed, and getting into their safes and their cash registers and stealing their money and booze. And then I'd flee to a different state, and I would have a big old party, a celebration, from the rush of getting away with the situation at the time. And then I would go on to my next spot. And then I met my second oldest kid's mom, and she's also a recovering addict. I thought we were meant to be because we connected, with using substance, and we're having fun, until she got pregnant, and she wanted to do something different with her life and get clean. And she stuck by my side, even though I was using morphine patches and going and doing hustles and getting Sudafeds, get deals with the dope dealer, and I would take off for days or even weeks, and she wouldn't even know where I was, and I wouldn't contact her. And it got to where we'd get in verbal fights, and then she would come track me down, worried, knowing where I was. And then I would end up being a dirtbag, and I busted up her vehicle, busted her window out and stuff, and blamed her. In all reality, it was my fault. She was all in the right. But I didn't want to take a look at myself and see where I done wrong, I thought, I just said that you're being a bee and an asshole, and that would drive me to that would give me another reason to go out and use some more and put it on her. Well, needless to say, it didn't work out, and I was in and out of both of my kids' life, or oldest kids' life, for about, it's going on 17 years, And then I moved back to Grand Island, Nebraska, where I met my last 3 kids' mom. I met her while we were working, and she didn't know that how much of an addict I was. I said I smoked weed occasionally and drank very seldom. So we ended up hooking up and moved in with each other right away. You know.
Now, when you were doing that, were you secretly using?
I was. Oh yeah, man. And I would use weed to kind of like level myself out, you know. So she wouldn't tell I was all like twacked out and calm my nerves, you know.
But the whole time you're like, I'm just high, babe.
I'm just high, or I just got a little bit of buzz because one of my buddies, you know.
So when you were using meth, were you slamming it or?
I was slamming it hardcore.
Okay, cool.
I went from I done it all sorts of ways, you know, like hot rails to like where I do lines to bong rips, and like my go-to was blasting.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, like I could not get that like the very first time when I blasted, I never could get that high again any other way, and I was trying to search and find it, man.
I call that chasing the dragon.
Yes.
Never catch that sucker. He's gone. You know what I mean? We try.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but and then so I ended up this last time I broke into a person's place. There was a neighbor out. I just got done doing a blast with one of my buddies up in their vehicle, and we needed to get some money, so we were scoping out a place for a little bit, and we ended up breaking into the place to steal, and we got some laptops and stuff, but we did not see that the neighbor lady was outside and seen us go in there. So she ended up getting a hold of the cops, and they ended up showing up at me and my buddy's door place, and we went to jail for a little bit, and then got bonded out for court. Well, me and him were already having some rough times, and here I am again being a dirtbag because his mom got opiates. So I ended up hooking up with his mom for the drugs.
The good old uncle, the uncle move.
Yeah, the good old uncle move. You don't have to call me dad if you don't want to.
I'll be your uncle.
And I was an asshole, and I said that to him. You don't have to call me daddy, even though I'm with your mom, you know, joking around, but not thinking about his emotions.
Right.
Well, me and him ended up getting in an argument. He was pissed off about me hooking up with his mom, and then with the court, we were both stressed out with the court case that was coming up, and me and him started bumping heads, saying words, and he took off, and I thought he was gonna leave, but he comes in with a baseball bat and comes charging at me, starts batting me all up, and I'll admit, I got my ass handed to me.
Really?
Hard.
Did you have super meth powers and it didn't bother you until?
Oh yeah.
Until I hit you in the head real good.
Yeah, man. I at least put up a fight with him. I got a few socks in, and so on top of those charges, we both got charged with assault with a deadly weapon, because they didn't know which one was which one got hit with the baseball bat, because I ended up fracturing his eye socket and broke his nose.
You guys are going after it.
Oh yeah, man. And after that, it was a little bit of a blur. I had a blackout moment, and then I came to up in the hospital, and I ended up getting locked up and sitting in jail for a couple months after that. And then here I am, playing being a dirtbag, calling his mom up again, saying, "Hey baby, all this and that, come get me out, bail me out," you know what I mean? And then, so she comes and gets me out, and then I even went further and pulled her into using the needle.
Oh yeah.
She was clean for a while, off the needle for quite some years, and then she found out that I was blasting it instead of the other ways, and got her hooked on that again. And so I found, like, made my way up the food chain with that situation, like, you know, with me and her, like, we're the Bonnie and Clyde clan. Working our way, like, I was like, I'm gonna work my way up until I find the plug, you know? And I started, like, with the little fishes and screwed them all up, or over, you know?
Robbing them and stuff.
Robbing them and taking their persons, and made it, up with this, biker dude, to where...
And that's where the good dope is.
Oh yeah, man.
The biker dope.
The biker dude.
The peanut butter.
I could walk up in there, and there's big old, he had a big old bucket of, like, this big old white bucket, the paint buckets full, like, you'd have to chisel that shit up, or that shit out, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we're going to town on that just to be able to keep our hustle so we can get high and be able to afford to be able to get food and stuff, and, you know, like, take care of things. But in all reality, I wasn't, like, taking care of things or doing much. Like, I was taking too much time getting high.
You're taking care of yourself.
Like, yeah, man, than anything. Like, it was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
And, like, and then the paranoia starts kicking in, and the delusions. 7,
6, 8 days up or something?
Oh yeah, man, like 14.
Holy smokes.
Like, just trying to hit it. Maybe I went on, like, power cat naps that I don't remember because of being so out there. Right. But it started getting into, like, that drug psychosis, or, you know, I mean, being up for so long.
You're in the spirit world.
Yeah, man, that I was, like, hearing voices and stuff.
Oh man.
And then I got, like, and I was also, like, besides, like, on the meth, I was hooked on, like, the hides and the Roxy's, and on the Fetty, me and his mom were. And so, like, I also got, like, I made my way through with a doctor, you know, of where I got to where I could get prescribed meds if I was on it, like, contract, whatever.
Yeah.
And it ended up being, I don't know, I manipulated that situation also. And so I ended up running out of that scripts too early because of going buck wild over them and taking too many at a time and not trying to portion it out.
Chewing on them.
Yeah, man, just like, I end up getting this big idea of, like, injuring myself so I could get a script. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I end up reacting on that impulsively, and I end up taking a needle and stabbing my left eye 2 times.
Wow, really?
Yeah, man, and I had 3 eye surgeries on it, and they end up giving me, they give me some oxys, and I don't know, man, like, for again, like, only an extra refill of the script, it was not worth it for a lifetime of being partially blind out of my eye now.
Yeah.
And
that's the insanity we live on. The insanity, man.
Like, I don't know. But after that, like, I finally got sick and tired of it. I tried, like, giving myself, like, a really syrupy blast to where I wouldn't, like, wake up again, just, like, you know, off myself.
Oh yeah.
As it got to that point, because I was in and out of my, like, all 4 of my kids' life at the time, like, constantly. Like, it was either one here for maybe a week or a couple of days or whatever, and I would fall away from them because I thought, like, I was a piece of shit dad. I was worthless, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I was scum, which I was a scumball at that time, you know, because it was all about me, what Mark wanted, not what my children wanted or anyone else or their kid or how their feelings were or what their needs were. It was only what I could get out of you or I could use you for during that time being. And so I end up going to Norfolk.
What is that?
Nebraska. I went to a recovery place there, and it was like it was a 10-month program.
Long term.
Long term, which I needed.
Yeah.
And then I went to a halfway house after I graduated that place.
How did you get into Norfolk? Did you reach out? Did you?
Yes, I reached out. So I checked myself into a detox center.
Well, you did it.
And I went to, and they asked me if I was ready to take the next step, and I was like, I thought I surrendered at the time.
Were you dope sick, and then you got over the dope sickness, and you were like,
yeah,
I'm
like,
out of here.
yeah, and like, I started like, I fled.
Yeah. We usually do, you know, after we start feeling good, after detox or in treatment, you know.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah.
It's just that vicious cycle of insanity, man. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then I tried the geographical change,
Oh, yeah.
you know. I moved up here to Kildare, North Dakota.
Kildare?
Yeah, where my 3 youngest and their kid's mom lived at the time being. Started working at.
So did you get back with her trying to reconcile with the kids?
Yeah,
I'm sober, babe. I'll do this. I'll be a dad.
I've been clean for about, like a year and a half or 2, you know, and like I'm doing good, and well, then that comfortability came back in, you know, like
just one little.
Because she knew I got her hooked. I'm back in, you know, situation. Like everything's good. Like I test the waters by drinking a little bit, you know, to see what she was saying. She's like, okay, I'll
just
drink,
one beer.
I'll drink with you on the weekends.
One bottle.
Yeah, and then so I started working at some hotels, and I scope out like the people, start getting to know them.
You're reading them, huh?
I'm reading, like, getting their vibes, like which one has the good stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I found a guy with some blues. I'm like, okay, and I was like, and it was on my birthday, so I'm like, okay, like.
Had him in your sight?
Yeah. Scoped it out.
Yeah, scoped him out.
I was like, yes, this is my time to shine for myself. No one like.
Oh man.
And so I got some blues off of him. Showed up, and I was like, man.
How did you get him? Did you front him?
Yeah, he fronted him to
Come on,
me.
bro, front me, and I'll get you back. Kind of okay.
Yeah.
The desperation, right?
Yeah, man. I was like, I got you on payday, you know.
Oh yeah.
And as I'm going like on my way to the house and stuff, I came up with this like fast idea what to tell my kids' mom, and I'm like, man, it's my birthday. I thought it was just some weed, you know, like a here you go present, and like I acted like I was surprised, like I didn't know what it was, you know, opening up, knowing that she had opiate problem prior. So she wouldn't leave me. I knew that when I put it out, she would want to use them with me, which was a really screwed up thing for me to do, to bring somebody down to with me on that situation just so I could get a high.
Yeah.
And so it was off to the races, you know.
Wow. What happened? Like you guys both just started selling the car, selling the TV and stuff just to keep going, or?
Actually, so we became managers of the places up there.
Okay. So you had another scheme going.
And it became to where I started embezzling from the company, the deposits and stuff.
Taking money
I was taking money here and there, and like hundreds at a time, and
them blues ain't cheap, huh?
yeah, man. It started out like
big habit.
Yeah, and they knew like how they hooked me in, because it started like 10 a pop, and then once they knew they got me on that line, like it was, they kept racing them. And I'm like, okay, man, like
they had their meetings.
Sounds good, man. Like, don't wanna say no on it, cause I want those. But then the higher up people started kind of knowing what was going on, and I told them that my kids' mom or my separated wife was clean, and it was all me, and doing the shady stuff, and I'm grateful they understood about the whole addiction and stuff, because they're like, as long as you make sure that you get us paid, or we'll take this last check from you, and you but you can't be on the premises anymore, and if you are, we will make sure that we will press charges and do all the charges that you deserve.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, fair enough, you know.
Yeah.
And so I paid them off, and
You left in a good way.
Yeah.
That's good.
Try to leave in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. That's good.
But
at the same time, you're still chasing that dragon, huh? You're like,
oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to my kids' grandparents' farm area out in Killdeer, and they were nice enough to put me up. And here I am, like.
Do you have your kids and your wife with you at the time too?
We end up. She ended up splitting up with me because of the whole situation of because I wanted to get so I wanted to get clean.
Oh, okay, cool.
How it came to it is I wanted to get clean, and there was a couple of times where I had the Narcan, my kids' mom.
Yeah.
And I started getting to where I was fed up. I just wanted to OD, or I'd take the easy way out again, because I couldn't stand being able to wake up and see my beautiful children's faces and know before they're getting up, I'm having to run to the restroom to get my fix and take a swig off the bottle just to start my day before I can get them up and get them ready for school and fed.
So what did you do on that point? Like, you seeing your kids' face, you know, you seeing how sad they were and probably hungry, and just like, Dad, you know. Yeah. What changed you at that point? Like,
I think it's because like it finally clicked in, like throughout my whole life, and then going back into my childhood of how I didn't have that love or care shown, and I felt like I was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it finally kicked in that I was doing the same stuff that my family done to me, and my kids deserve to have a father and have parents that love and care about them unconditionally and are there for them, instead of choosing drugs or their own selfish ways, you know. And I've came like I accept the things I've done, but like it still hurts my heart.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing, but I'm just trying to do the next right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I checked myself in to detox for the last time.
And that was in Killdeer?
In Killdeer, and my clean date is July 14th of 2022 or 2023.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah, man. And so I went to Jamestown here in North Dakota, and was there for 115 days. And I knew when I graduated that place, if I got out and hit the streets right away, I know that I probably would have went back to the same old. I know what I have always done is get high, use people, and get locked up, or end up eventually death, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not know, like the next high is probably the next, like death.
Yeah.
And so I end up reaching out for sober living, and got to Serenity Bridge.
Nice.
And it's what I need, you know, some structure, get to be vulnerable and get to know other guys, interact and help each other out, you know, and just learn how to finally be a man or an adult. Mm-hmm. I work 6 days a week, you know, finally, 4 times a job, and I'm actually holding a job finally, instead of like a week here or 2 weeks here just to get a check so I can get my next fix, and then deuces.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Man, and I'm reliable, you know, like finally now I got like all 5 of my kids, I'm in contact with them and with their mothers, and me and their moms are on good terms, and we're doing that co-parenting now, you know, and we can actually have conversations to where it's not like we're wanting to choke each other out, or with, like, you know what I mean? Right. And I don't know, like I'm just really proud of my children and how forgiving they are, and they still let me in their lives. I'm very grateful with like the universe and my creator for giving them that, you know. And I don't want to take it like advantage. I don't want to jeopardize that situation ever again.
Yeah.
Like,
So
because I don't think I'll ever get that chance with them again if I screw up this time.
So what's different this time of you being in their life? Have you, I don't know, you started a program, you said, and like, did you start doing the steps, or what happened? What was the change that actually changed your mental thinking?
What changed my mental thinking is actually sitting in the room, like AA or NA or the recovery rooms, and actually paying attention instead of trying to, you know,
Be the cool guy in the back.
Be the cool guy, or like try and hook up with one of the women there. Like, that's gonna be my next regret, you know. Like, and actually like just shutting up and listening to like suggestions and what people have to say and what helped them. And I got a sponsor and working on the first step in NA. You know, and I'm getting out myself knowing that I don't know shit, you know. I thought I knew everything in the past. Mr. I know it all, like everyone else is wrong, and trying to deflate the ego, you know. Try and see things third person, open-mindedness, willingness, and just surrender.
Oh yeah. So when you got to sober living, how was it? Like, did they come get you where you were at, or did you actually reach out to the sober living, like, hey man, I want to come stay with you, you know, stuff like that? Or how does that work?
So so when I was up in the long term, or this up there for 115 days, I filled out some applications for sober living, and 2 of them, they didn't have enough room, or they weren't able to at the time, and Serenity Bridge got back and said that the open spot hit it up, or opened.
Yeah, there was a bed open.
Yeah, man, there was a bed open, and I was like, thank you, Lord. Like, I was truly grateful. And so they ended up setting me up like transportation, and drove me about like, was it 3 hours or so from where I was at to here to where I could come. And I was nervous at first. I didn't know if I was gonna get along with the guys. And then I just started talking again to know them, opened up, let them know who I was, kind of my background and how my life has been, and what I want to kind of do with my life, and what I'm kind of looking for. And I mean, it's more better than I can imagine, you know.
Yeah. So is there requirements to stay there? Like, do you have to finish the steps in a certain amount of days? Because like here at the sober living, you know, we have to, you know, there's requirements to live here. We can't, it ain't just a place to crash.
Yeah. So we do have requirements. We have to hit up 8 to 4 meetings a week. We have to have a sponsor. We got to be working the steps. Have to have. We also need a home group and have a commitment in the home group.
Cool. Right.
And we also have like a chore list of us that keep us accountable for how they take care of our houses when we move out, you know.
Yeah.
And we have to have a job and also be on time for like our own bills and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they're teaching kind of like us here. It's like a transitional living to incorporate sobriety into our everyday living.
Most definitely.
You know, that's just an amazing thing that these sober livings put out, you know, because us guys, myself included, you know, I run. Like today, you know, it's just these steps. If I didn't do them, I was screwed. You know, so that's basically what you did. And you said you're on step 9 now. You're on step 9.
I'm on step 1.
Oh, okay.
We're working on them.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to you know, like I'm nervous but excited to work through my amends with people and take care of the wreckage that I created in the past, you know.
Oh yeah. Hey, but you're here. You know what I mean? I think that's like the first step, like admitting that you have a problem, you know.
Most definitely.
And that's cool because, like, you know, your kids probably love the hell out of you. I know they always did, but now it's like, man, my dad's clean now, he's sober, you know.
Yeah, man.
It's an amazing feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. And my my 17-year-old son, I found out, I finally got a hold, or when I got in recovery and been clean this time around, he told me, or his mom and him told me that I have a grandson. He's 5-month-old, and
Wow.
so that's given me also like a little bit of a push. I know my kids went through that, but at least hopefully my grandson will never have to see me high again.
Yeah, now's
So
the time.
break the chain and the cycle of that situation.
That's awesome, man. You're here now, and it's an amazing feeling, isn't it?
Heck yeah, man.
Waking up and not being sick, and oh, where's my next fix? Maybe I might grab your vape now, but you know, it's so amazing, man. So amazing to hear your story.
Not feeling good enough, being dope sick,
Right.
and able to move around or do things I need to for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned a lot. I learned a lot. Like, you know, these boys, I have 11 roommates in this house, and you know, we learn every day. You know, every day we're learning something new, and it's awesome. Waking up clean and sober. But yeah, how long do you plan on sticking it out at Serenity Bridge? As long as you can? Or?
Honestly, I'm just going going with the flow. I don't have any
Keeping
time
it simple.
man.
Hey, like this.
One day at a time.
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. If I think way too much, it just becomes a mess.
That's good. You know, if you watched my videos in the past, I stressed that, you know, we don't worry about the past, or we don't future trip. We just worry about today. Because that's all we can do, you know. The future hasn't been written yet, and I've got told that, you know, once, and it just sticks with me. Because I used to worry about tomorrow, the next day, the hereafter, and it's like, you know, you can't control all that, man. And it's just like, blew my mind, like, wow, that's so true. But yeah, like now it's just been through the steps myself in the AA program, and you know, I sponsor guys. And if I don't sponsor, I start getting back in my head. You know, I start getting that stinking thinking, like you were saying, you know, like that next fix, like who can I, you know, rob, or who can I take a couple bucks from? And
that beast is always going to be in there, scratching away, you know, never's gone.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. It made us, you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's lovely, man. Lovely to live this lifestyle today, man. Love it. So yeah, we're both in sober living, and you know, we're living the life now, and it's an awesome feeling, you know. I guess that'd be it. Do you have any closing remarks for our family out here in the recovery warrior land?
So I guess I would like to say it's a good day to be a part of the process, and thank you guys for being a part of my journey, and let me be a part of your guys' journey. If you ever feel like you're not worth it, remind yourself and look at yourself in the mirror that you're here for a reason and you have a purpose, you know. Just keep on trudging through.
Oh yeah. All right, thanks a lot, Brother Mark, man. Appreciate your time, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh yeah.